So I do have a kind of short review on Peter Capaldi's Christmas specials coming up, which will be happening very soon, as I've now watched all of them again, and I'll get to that. But last night, I went out with my family and went to the cinema and saw another movie, and I'm here to give my thoughts on it. Now, like Terminator: Dark Fate, if I hadn't have been with someone, I going to the cinema with my family, watching this movie together. I actually really enjoyed this movie, and like Terminator: Dark Fate, if my family hadn't wanted to see it, I likely would have just let this movie pass my by. And unlike Dark Fate, I probably wouldn't have even known it existed. But I did go and see it, and I absolutely loved it. And the movie this time, Knives Out. Now, some of you will go, "Oh man, I love that film," and others will just be going, "Huh? Knives Out? What's that?" Let me enlighten you a little bit. Knives Out follows the kind of plotline or story of an Agatha Christie style novel. You've got a murder mystery writer played by Christopher Plummer. He has just had his 85th birthday, and he is the matriarch of the family. He is the big provider, he is the big man. He is found the next morning after his 85th birthday, dead. Seemingly killed. Now, the police rule his murder as suicide. Yeah. So, as suicide, there seems to be no other option, but they of course have to look at they of course can interview each member of the family, and slowly things start to come to light. I mean, with a family, you've got a rather big family that include Jamie Lee Curtis as the eldest daughter. The youngest son is played by Michael Shannon. You've got a daughter-in-law played by Ricky Lindholm, who is pretty good. And you've also got a grandson played by Captain America's Chris Evans, and a nurse played by Anna de Armas, a name I've almost suddenly butchered, and I apologise. But now, while the police are happy to just rule it as a suicide, just ask everyone the relevant questions and then go home, they are also assisted by a detective, played by James Bond star Daniel Craig. And he doesn't think that the man's death is so cut and dry. Now, you might think Agatha Christie style plots, it'll be kind of making deductions, asking the relevant questions, investigating everything, and then towards the end of the film we'll find out who did it. And to be honest, they do follow that kind of plot structure. But then we as the audience are seemingly shown who actually committed the crime fairly early on, and then trying to deal with the repercussions and some things they didn't know. I mean, the family are as backstabbing as ever. I mean, they're all mainly just out to try and get the money that the old man had, but then there are some things bubbling underneath the surface, and then when things are finally revealed, it's like, oh, how are they going to deal with this? How are they going to adapt? More backstabbings occur. But it is done very well. I mean, I'm about to let you in on a little secret about me as a person. When I was in my early to mid-teens, I actually went through an Agatha Christie phase. I started reading some of her books just for fun, and I actually got into really enjoying her books. I ended up reading a lot of Agatha Christie books, such as Murder on the Orient Express, The Body in the Library, The Mirror, Cracked from Side to Side. I read a lot of them, and I remember one time on holiday, I was feeling a little unwell at the time, and I just remember sitting in my holiday bed just reading The Mirror, Cracked. And so, yeah, I actually went through a part of my life loving Agatha Christie films, and so with this, a murder mystery style film, I actually really enjoyed it. I mean, the only one problem with this is, well, with this film, well, you can say about most murder mystery films or murder mystery books, is that you can only really watch it properly once. I mean, because afterwards you know who did it, you know the big twist, and so therefore, well, you can never rewatch it in the same way again. You can only rewatch it properly once. But you know what? From Night at the Movies, I'd say that Knives Out. I think it fits the bill. I mean, if you're just looking for something a fun night out, going to the cinema, and you're just wondering what to see, I'd say give Knives Out a try. I mean, the film is funny. It does have some very funny moments with some really funny characters, but then it's not a comedy. I mean, the only two problems with it are, one, as I said, it's a film you can only really watch once, because after that you can the know the plot twists, and the other one is with Daniel Craig as the detective. Throughout most of the film, he's fine. He does very well as a detective, but how do I explain this? Daniel Craig is a British actor. He's a great British actor. I mean, he's played James Bond half a dozen times. He's played great characters over the years, but seeing him here trying to play a well, it's not necessarily that he's a detective, is he's trying to be an American. And to be honest, when he started talking, I was just like, what is that accent? Because it's evidently, I mean, as Chris Evans later describes in the movie, it's like CSI KFC. So Kentucky accent, Southern accent. I don't know. I admit I found Daniel Craig's American accent towards the beginning of the film a little distracting. I did get used to it more as kind of the film went on, and I was eventually able to kind of. He had his moments, but yeah, I mean, all of the characters in this film are tremendous, are brilliant. They work well off each other, and you know what? As I said, while you can only really watch it once properly, if you want just a good night at the movies, I'd say check Knives Out. Because you know what? You might just find yourself enjoying it. So there you go, my quick little review of the film Knives Out. You know what? I suggest you go and check it out. Because it's brilliant. Anyway, until next time, Knives Out.